Ah, yes, it's getting to be evening time around here on the homestead. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a beautiful crescent moon up here. Let's see. It's right. Yeah. You can see it up there somewhere, right? Right there? Yeah. Honestly, don't know how well it shows up. I think it's a waxing moon. And, yeah, because it goes from right to left. A waxing moon means that it's getting fuller, in case you don't know that already. But I guess Lucy's down here too. Hey, girl. She's enjoying the evening excursion here. I got this little bench that I made by the garden, but what I was really going to share was the resilience of gardens. And I just got done with a pretty heavy watering over here. This is my tobacco and my peas that my son helped me plant the peas. And if you look over here, yep, these are all sugar snap peas, and that means these are going to be ready in no time. The one thing about peas is that they are super fragile, so if you like try to train them and like bend them underneath the fence, they just crease. So I pretty much leave them alone and let them do their own thing. They're smart. They know what they're doing. And back here we got the old tobacco, and it looks pretty bad right now because I just gave it a heavy watering and I walked through and I weeded a bunch of stuff, but there's also a lot of other plants interspersed within there. But you can tell because of the slope of the ground and how I raked out the soil and the way the fertilizer goes, as well as this big mound at the end of compost that the larger plants form at one end. And I always thought that was fascinating, just as a cannabis grower for many years back in the past. I don't anymore, but I did it before it was legal, so it was more fun. But I bred various, different types together and created a couple of my own strains. And I really enjoyed the process. And when you're growing a little bit at a time, you want to make sure that it's the very best you can get, right? And the very best you can grow. And I feel the same way with any other plant, right? Vegetables, fruits. And it's very hard for the average person to gauge whether or not they're actually growing the best they can, right? You don't know on a fruit tree whether it could be better one year or another unless you've been, harvesting from that tree for a decade and you have compared all the different weather patterns. Let's just say that there are certain things that help, and we know that nutrition is one of them, but there's a long-held dispute as to whether or not talking to your plants and actually like being present and speaking with them or playing music to them, whether or not this actually helps them grow. I do talk to my plants. I talk to the plants I want to grow, and I did do this with cannabis when I was growing, and obviously can't say for sure whether or not it actually affected the growth, but I'll tell you this. I really do firmly believe that the intention we have towards the food that we grow is hugely important in not just the size of the plant, but the quality of the plant. And of course, to a scientific-minded person, they may think that's absurd. Like, nothing we say has any input. Like, put it this way. We're kind of at this point where, at least a juncture within science and the scientific community, if you will. Hi, kitty, kitty. See my cat running up the trail here. It's just the animal party out here, huh, Lucy? Don't go chasing the cat now. I believe that there's a lot of evidence to support that your plants, animals around you react to your intention, your behavior, just like a crow can imprint on you. Perhaps plants have enough of a consciousness to communicate, enough to trust us. You know, it may sound crazy. Maybe plants aren't aware, but maybe fungi is. And maybe just the footsteps of you coming up. You know, maybe just me walking through the forest can be felt by these plants. And maybe they know who I am by my signature footprint. I don't know. I don't know. I guess I do know that I'll continue to talk to plants, hug trees, and speak to my garden. Knowing that damn well the most important thing is obviously, first and foremost, nutrition, sunlight, location. But after that is an element of necessity. The same way that plants over time genetically changed to grow more food for humans. That was partially from our selective breeding of plants, you know, choosing the best of. But I do believe that it was also a long-term response of nature to our needs. That as a collective, if all humans really respected our food and appreciated it for what it is, and if we all, like as a group, intended to grow good organic food, as cheesy as it sounds, I believe that just the same way that many cultures will pray over their food or talk to their food or give gratitude for what they eat, I think that that actually helps, maybe not with the food itself, but with the nutrient intake and how much we actually benefit from it. Over here, back up in the field, I've got some tomatoes, some beans, some carrots, poppies, and then over here, this is the one that's protected from the deer. We've got bell peppers, some more tobacco, tomatoes, some cucumbers, watermelon started, more tomatoes, basil. Kind of a sad little corner we're trying to get going, but eventually we'll be harvesting food out of it. So, ramble over for the evening. Kind of out of breath coming up that hill, but it's all worth it. Peace out. I'll talk to you later.